get away from people. In the outside world, turn off the lights, put on your headphones, enter my darkness. Fear awaits you. One, the ghost path. As the storm intensified, a group of friends decided to take a shortcut through the forest. During their journey, they heard strange whispers coming from between the trees, as if someone was watching them. Shortly after, the car suddenly stopped, and their attempts to restart it failed. Then, a ghostly woman in a long white dress appeared, waving at them from afar. The friends tried to escape, but the road was blocked. It turned out that this ghost was the spirit of a woman who lost her life in an old accident on this road. Only one friend survived, swearing never to return. 2. The secret of the abandoned inn. One evening, a group of travelers decided to stop at an old, abandoned inn, thinking it would be a cozy place to stay. However, as night fell, they began to hear strange sounds as if someone was walking upstairs. They decided to explore the place and discovered that the inn was haunted by the spirits of guests who had died there. They faced ghosts seeking revenge, forcing them to try to escape, but the inn manipulated them, changing the corridors and preventing them from leaving. Only 2 managed to escape after a terrifying encounter with the demons that resided there. 3. The strange old man on the road. Layla was traveling to a remote village to see her family, and in the middle of the road, she stopped to eat at a small diner. There, she met a strange old man sitting in a corner. He told her a legend about roads walked by wandering spirits. After a while, Layla decided to leave the diner, but found herself on a dark road she had never seen before. She tried to go back, but couldn't. The old man appeared again, but this time he had transformed into a terrifying creature, trying to lure her into his world. Layla fought to survive and eventually escaped, but not without carrying the memory of the old man forever. 4. The unknown traveler. While Sammy was driving at night on a deserted road, he saw someone waving at him on the side of the road. He stopped to offer help, but the person suddenly disappeared. After several miles, Sammy noticed someone sitting in the back seat. When he looked in the mirror, he saw a distorted face smiling at him ominously. The car began to malfunction, and when he got out, he discovered that the road had vanished, leaving him surrounded by an unfamiliar place. He realized that this entity was trying to lure people into its world, and he had to escape before he got trapped forever. 5. The road to hell. One day, Ahmed heard about an old road called the Road to Hell, said to lead to another world. Ahmed's curiosity led him to explore this road at night. As he walked, he began to hear voices coming from the depths of darkness. When he tried to return, he found himself surrounded by dark shapes that chased him and whispered in his ear. He discovered that no one ever returned from this road and that everyone who attempted to cross it had disappeared. Ahmed tried to escape, but the road pulled him toward hell, where he remained trapped forever, becoming part of the legend of this terrifying road. 6. The road of loss. While a family was heading to a new city to relocate, they decided to take a shortcut through a remote area. As time passed, the road began to feel strange, as if time had stopped. Suddenly, the car flipped over, and they sustained minor injuries. When they attempted to exit the vehicle, they noticed that the road had disappeared, and all around them was dense fog and twisted trees. As they began to search for an exit, they heard the distant laughter of children. They discovered that this road was haunted by the spirits of children who lost their lives in an old accident. The family was trapped in this place and had to confront these frightening spirits to survive. 7. The Black Tunnel. One night, a group of friends decided to explore an old tunnel said to lead to a haunted place. Upon entering, the tunnel began to glow with strange lights, and odd sounds echoed in their ears. They proceeded cautiously, but soon lost their sense of time and space. The deeper they went into the tunnel, the louder the voices became, and they began to see visions of other people warning them not to continue. But curiosity drove them to press on, and when they decided to turn back, they discovered they were trapped. The lights began to fade, and the voices of the spirits turned into screams. None of them made it out. 8. The mysterious traveler. One day, a young man was walking along an isolated road, and when he felt tired, he decided to rest. While sitting on the edge of the road, a strange traveler approached him, offering help. They exchanged conversations, and the young man discovered that the traveler knew bizarre things about him, even events he could not remember. As night progressed, the young man began to feel uneasy. When he decided to leave, he realized that the traveler was not human, but a being from the other world, come to take him to a place from which he could never return. 9. Back to the road of death years. After a horrific accident on a road known as the Road of Death, someone decided to return to the same place to remember the past. That night, while walking along the road, he began to hear familiar voices. He recalled the moments leading up to the accident, but things started to change when visions of his lost friends appeared. He tried to escape but found himself trapped in a time loop, reliving that horrific moment over and over. The spirits demanded an apology, and he could not escape this fate. 10. The strange situation. On a narrow, rugged road, a family's car slid and got stuck in the mud. While waiting for help, they began to hear faint sounds coming from the surrounding forest. They tried to ignore it, but the sounds grew louder and closer. After a while, a strange person emerged from the woods, wearing tattered clothes and speaking in an incomprehensible language. As he approached, things began to change, revealing that this person was trying to lure them into the forest, where there was a parallel world full of strange beings. At a crucial moment, they realized they had to choose between fleeing or confronting what lurked in the darkness. 11. The abandoned road. One day, a group of friends decided to explore an abandoned road that was said to have been used in the past for transporting goods. As they progressed, they began to feel unwelcome. The deeper they ventured into the road, the denser the trees became, and strange beings roamed in the darkness. Suddenly, they heard whispers calling their names. They tried to turn back, but they realized the road had changed, as if they had entered a never-ending maze. They faced ancient creatures guarding this place, and they had no choice but to escape or confront their dark fate. 12. Shadows in the night. There was a young man named Karim who decided to walk at night along a lonely road to enjoy the tranquility of the night. As he walked, he began to notice shadows moving around him, as if something was following him. The faster he went, the faster the shadows moved. Karim tried to escape, but the fog began to thicken, and he could no longer see anything. Finally, he turned to face the shadows, only to discover they were the ghosts of people who had died on this road. They screamed at him, making him realize that he must flee before he became one of them. 13. The mysterious lights. While Adele was driving at night along a mountain road, he saw bright lights shimmering in the distance. Curious, he decided to approach them, believing they were signaling a nearby town. But as he got closer, the lights began to fade, and he found himself surrounded by an eerie silence. Suddenly, his car stopped, and when he got out, he discovered that the place was abandoned, making him a victim of a dark prank. The lights were merely a trick to lure travelers into traps set by evil spirits. 14. The blue car driver. One night, a girl was driving on a long, dark road when suddenly, a blue car appeared beside her at an astonishing speed. She tried to overtake it, but found the car speeding up to keep pace with her. Her heart raced, and when she looked at the driver of the blue car, she saw someone who looked lifeless, with empty eyes. She realized she was trying to escape from a non-human entity. After a terrifying chase, she managed to survive by entering a lit area, while the blue car suddenly stopped and disappeared. 15. Back to square one. A young man named Sam decided to explore an old road known to lead to a haunted place. After hours of walking, he found himself returning to the same point he started from. He kept trying, but every time he attempted to leave, he found himself back at the beginning. He realized that this road was a trap, and he was caught between dimensions of time. With each attempt to escape, dark shapes began to appear, pushing him to return. He had to confront these beings and free himself from this hell, or he would remain trapped forever.